The OP1 8K has been my main mouse since I got it back in August. The shape is very comfortable for me, the click latency is the lowest on the market, you can always run it at the highest port rate without having to worry about your mouse battery dying, and with the lack of a mouse battery, the weight balance was so good that it felt lighter than the wireless mice I've used like the Hitscan Hyperlight or the Pulsar X2 Crazy Light, where the battery at the back of the mouse made it feel heavier to whip around. Despite all of that, I still wished the OP1 was lighter, and didn't understand why endgame gear didn't just cut a few holes in the bottom. Well, my wishes were granted, but not by endgame gear. Introducing the PMM Pulse, a mod for the OP1 8K that feels just like the OP1, but is 15 grams lighter. The shell is 3D printed and honestly, does feel like a 3D printed mouse, but not in a negative way by any means. The mouse feels very sturdy and I personally can't bend anything that isn't the bottom. I got the shell without the grippy coating and the mouse still feels grippier than the stock OP1, which might be because of the slight texture it has from the 3D print. But it isn't an annoying texture. And if that wasn't enough, they also provide grip tape, which honestly, I didn't even try because I don't like the feeling of any grip tapes that I've tried. Now with this being a mod, I did have to build it myself, which was honestly a very fun experience. It's like building with Legos, but instead of putting bricks together, you put together a PCB and a shell. The process was really easy and PMM have a guide you can follow along with to make the process as smooth as possible. And if you get stuck on something, they also have a live chat, which is really helpful. You can also just buy one pre-built, but it does get pretty pricey. And if you already have an OP1, I don't think it's worth missing out on the fun of building it yourself. They also offer a cable called the Flex Cord, which is like 25 bucks extra. From what I've heard, it's really good and makes the mouse feel wireless, but I'm personally fine with the stock cable. But if you're watching this PMM, you know, feel free to hit me up. I have to admit, I was a little worried about not liking this mod, that it would maybe feel cheap or weird. But after fully installing the mod and using the mouse for hundreds of hours now, even easily beating some of my Kovacs PBs without any warm-up, I gotta admit that what PMM have made here is one of the best things that I have laid my hands on in my time of being a peripheral nerd. Sadly, not everything is perfect, but that's not really at fault of PMM. The base of the Pulse has lots of small holes, which obviously is good for weight reduction, but I've noticed that on softer mousepads like the Artisan Zero Soft, it is really easy to push the mousepad into those little holes, causing you to slow down way more than you would on a stock OP1. But I honestly don't think this should push you away from getting this mod, it's just something that personally annoyed me. And the fix is as simple as getting better mouse technique or getting a firmer mousepad. And if anything, some people might love this being a thing. Another small thing that I did notice is that the clicks don't feel as spammy. I don't know if there's some optimal screw setting that I'm not using, which by the way, you can tighten or loosen screws through the bottom to make your clicks tighter or looser. But I've experimented with that a lot, and what I have it on now feels the best to me, yet still isn't spammy sadly. So don't get this mod to play Cookie Clicker or Minecraft PvP or something. And one more thing. The side buttons don't feel as tactile to me. They still click fine, but they don't feel as good as they did on the stock OP1. The mod kit also came with skates. So how good are those? They call them Smoothies, and I must admit they were smooth. But not really my thing personally. I think they feel kinda similar to X-Ray Pad Shades, but maybe leaning more towards their Obsidians, which is a little bit too slow for me. And looking at their sides, they think the same. I'm sadly no expert on skates though, and just slapped on Artisan dots since they're what I've been using the most, and they feel the best to me. So is this mod worth it? If you're even remotely serious about aiming at all and have the money to spend, it is 100% worth it to get this mod for your OP1. But if you maybe just play shooters casually and don't even play any aim trainers, the stock OP1 is already near perfect. If you're hesitant because of the 3D printed shell, which you don't have to be, but I totally get it, I would recommend getting a base mod instead from 4K mods or TJ exclusives, which will give you similar weight reduction results without changing the feel of the base OP1. I will also mention that there's a couple mice coming out soon that are similar to the OP1, like the Pulsar X2N Crazy Light and the CR Draco KO1, which you can find reviews on when they're out and decide for yourself if it's worth getting those instead. But for me, this mod is my endgame until one of those maybe replaces it.